Hey guys, Drifter here. I was playing Black Ops 3 today to get a little gameplay for commentary, and I walked over a lone ballistic knife sitting on the ground. I'd actually forgotten that they added this to the game, so I wanted to try it out, compare it to its Black Ops 2 counterpart. Got a beautiful little setup here, and even though I may have missed the first shot and hit an unintended target for the second one, I got to feeling, wow, this ballistic knife is actually pretty fun, and then I got caught not paying attention and I died. So I swapped over to Advanced Warfare, and I managed to pick up an M1911, which I also didn't have. And I was like, holy crap, this pistol's really fun. This might actually be the best pistol in the game because I can actually kill people with it. The only other one I care for is the WW2. But then, once again, some very unfortunate things happened, and I died, and I am not going to get to use those weapons again unless somebody dies and I pick them up off the ground, which leads me to the topic of today's commentary. For me, at least, and I think for the franchise in general, there is a lot riding on Call of Duty World War II's loot system. It's really ride or die, make or break, go home, or go big. Go big or go home. I said that a little bit backwards. And we know that E3 is just around the corner, and we're all going to be seeing lots of Call of Duty World War II gameplay. It's playable on the show floor. I assume there's going to be capturing and recording, and at least, you know, the cell phone videos. We'll be seeing a lot about it. There'll be press releases. Every company in the world is going to try to one-up each other on their game, and I'm excited. I'm going to be going to E3 to try to cover this, but I'm a little bit nervous because, you know, it's important. It's kind of make or break for me. I don't think it's a secret to anybody on this channel that I've been slowly growing away from Call of Duty and mostly playing older Call of Duty games recently. A lot of Overwatch, a lot of PUBG, some other PC games here and there, and, you know, Oculus or VR experiences. But I want to come back to Call of Duty. I don't want to be further pushed away from it, and the main reason I'm moving away from Call of Duty is that the loot system irritates me. Well, that and that Infinite Warfare wasn't a very fun game, at least for me personally. I know a lot of you enjoy it, but I just didn't like it, and I've just complained forever about the loot system in this game. I think I've been complaining for almost 3 or 4 years from now, and while it has improved a little bit, it hasn't improved enough to where I would really even say that it's good or even neutral in that regard. And even what's more frustrating for me is that the loot system has showed up in just about every other game on the market and every other game that I play. However, there's so many other games that do this system so much better. For example, Overwatch does it fantastically. League of Legends does it fantastically. It's cosmetic, it makes bank, and it works in the context of the game. So in my eyes, the continued success and fun of Call of Duty as a franchise as a whole depends largely on how the loot system is handled in the future. Don't get me wrong, great gameplay helps too. I'm really hoping that Call of Duty World War II just has downright fantastic boots on the ground gameplay that's smooth as butter, fun, balanced, good flow, that sort of stuff. But I don't want to pay $60 for a game and then another $50 for the DLC to have access for a game that has a great deal of additional paid loot built into it. If that's going to happen, the DLC and future content should be free or subsidized by the loot, or the game should be cheaper, or if you're charging that much, the loot should be cosmetic or more freely available to players, and having cool stuff is fine. I'm an older gamer, I guess. I don't know if it makes me feel like a dinosaur to say that, but I've come to accept there's going to be RNG, there's going to be supply drops in my Call of Duty games. It's going to happen, all of my games. So having new content is fine, having RNG is fine, having something to grind for is fine, but I want the loot to be awesome. I want it to be high quality, and I would really love for it to be cosmetic only. That would be ideal, but given that the last 3 or 4 games have not had that, I think it's very unlikely. But if we are going to have guns, I think that having easy ways to unlock them is by far the best model, and as much as I criticize Infinite Warfare, they've done this better than any other model. You can unlock the weapons just with currency or scrap that you earn in-game, and that works really, really well. But I don't want to be flooded with tons of useless crap. Like, I totally get that if you're going to have RNG and you're going to have these kind of boxes to open, that the majority of the things that you get aren't going to be super high value. You kind of get some lint and some buttons and then something nice, but it feels like I get this stuff that's epic, and this epic taunt or this epic reticle or this epic camo is just as epic as my epic gun, and that kind of pisses me off because that's not even remotely epic or the thing that I wanted. So if we're going to have stuff, let's have good stuff, not useless junk, and not, you know, mislabel it and make it kind of frustrating. And I don't want to feel excluded because there's so much stuff that I will never be unlocked. unlock. Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 especially got bad with this later in their life cycles because they added more and more and more and more, and the amount that you would need to pay or play to unlock these things is absurdly high, and I'm just never going to play or definitely not pay enough to participate in order to do that. I want to have a reasonable path to getting the things I want and not just be like, well, I'll never get all of this unless I play 2,000 hours or $2,000. I just kind of can't do that. And I don't want there to be so much loot that my game chops or runs poorly. And I'm looking at you, Black Ops 3, on this one. Black Ops 3, I will say until the day I die, is one of the best Call of Duty games ever made. It has some of the best fundamental gameplay, best balance, aesthetics. It is extraordinarily well done. But with each DLC package and with each big update where they added more loot, it just overloaded the system to where I run about a consistent 45 to 50 FPS now with lag, and it's very, very frustrating because it's not even server side, it's like engine side, and I don't want that to happen in Call of Duty World War II. I want to have a consistent, smooth experience all the way through it, and perhaps most importantly, more importantly than any of this, I want my gear to carry over into the next year. My lord, am I ever sick of Call of Duty. You get your guns, and then, well, there's a new game out and a new cycle, and you don't get to carry it over, and you don't get to carry the RNG over. The other games that I play do. Counter-Strike Go, the skins that I bought years ago, they're still valid, and I've spent money on those. League of Legends, I spent money on skins 4 years ago, still using them. Overwatch, spent some money on skins a year ago, still using it. Call of Duty, only if I just feel like going back and booting up a different game and reinstalling it and doing the retro thing, because none of my stuff carries over. I want my stuff to carry over into the next year, and if it does, I might actually spend money on it because it would be valuable. And as we know, Sledgehammer Games invented supply drops as we know them. They were first up to bat, they made the system, it's been improved by Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered, and, you know, things have changed over time, but they invented it. They've seen the response to their model, they've seen the response to the other games' models, they've seen other games on the market, so I think if a Call of Duty studio is going to get it right, if they're going to hit a home run on this loot system, if they're going to make it work, it's going to be Sledgehammer Games. They've had the most time, the most experience, the most opportunity to change implementation, probably the most bargaining power since Call of Duty World War II is looking really hot right now. And if they can't do it right, then that is really spooky for the franchise, because then it'll be game number 5 that just didn't get it wrong. And you'll see a lot of fans nope out, a lot of fans don't want to participate, but I don't want that to happen. I want the game to be awesome, I want there to be good loot, and I want to be playing Call of Duty World War II and collecting stuff that I find valuable and worth participating in or with, as that model is concerned. So for me, there is just as much riding on Call of Duty World War II's loot system as there is on actual gameplay. And I feel, honestly, as a fan of this franchise, it's really make or break on the future of the franchise as a whole, and I want to know what you guys have to say about it. So if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm right, if you think I'm talking out of my butt, you're all more than welcome to let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.